Welcome. Today we want to introduce you to the most dangerous book. It is obvious that you have plowed through countless books, epics, scriptures, journals, and also audiobooks. You have attended sermons and lectures and teachings, and you have heard a lot of information, but all of that will crumble once you read the most dangerous book ever. No More Masters. Awakened Uncreated Truth Destroys God-Lies, which isn't just a book, but a fiery blade of pages that slashes through every belief, current or future or past, even cutting-edge quantum science and its discoveries. Its unfiltered truth obliterates reality, exposing the lies even of gods, spirits, or anything that is overloading its will over your will as a master, a lord, a leader, and the owner or hijacker of your soul and the body. By owning a copy of this book, No More Masters, Awakened Uncreated Truth Destroys God-Lies, you will be elevated in all manners in this life and even beyond the grave. You will be elevated forever. This is not merely a book. It is an experiential detonation that shatters seen and unseen powers, their influence, their forces, and their desire of controlling every human soul like a master and a slave. It will ignite an unassailable inner freedom. Upon reading it, if you ever have heard and felt trapped by anything, or emotionalized, or have mood changes and mood swings against facts and beliefs, even oppressed by true knowledge or correct spirituality, anything that didn't feel right or good, even this universe, in this life, that it is oppressing you, the words in this book will snap every chain that is holding you back. Every guilt and the fear of being controlled by government, and the government wants to control your mind, and the guilt wants to control you. Anything that bothers you, this book will expose it by laying principles that will make you finally be free, truly and deeply free, and rediscover yourself and your own sovereignty. These are some of the systems and the processes and the forces that are controlling us, that are fighting to take over and using control mechanisms, so-called peaceful coexistences, and taking over as masters of the planet and masters of our life. If after reading this book, you come across any other book, or you know any other book today and days to come, and you say this book comes close or is better than No More Masters, or even by a small little fraction to what you discover or rediscover herein in the book, No More Masters, do not hesitate to reach us on our email, bmuadmissions@proton.me, and share us that truth, and we'll unpublish this book once we review your suggestion. This is a promise that I am giving you. Every sane human being has felt the suffocating weight of invisible and overt masters. Some using God lies, others scientific systems, others wealth, technology, their high IQ. Their major goal is to rule over us. They want to do that through dogmas, rules, stories, superstition, facts, figures, and data, religion, and a manipulative society, parents, relatives, friends, and peers. All of them, including some spirits, design or desire to keep you and me small, obedient, and afraid. They make us doubt. They make us operate with fear of judgment, and they force us to live a life that's not truly ours. Slavery, not mastery. We don't even want to be masters in this case, because once you're a master, you are trapped in a cage you didn't build. Yearning for truth that sets you free is the best. But here is the secret. The power to break free is already inside you. No More Masters, Awakened Uncreated Truth Destroys God-Lies is the most dangerous book that will shatter those chains and awaken your soul. It has over 520 pages. It's not just a book, it's a revolution. It unveils the awakened and created truth, a force so potent it obliterates lies that binds you. This isn't about blind faith, or hope, love, and the future, or reward, or punishment. It's about knowing who you are and claiming your rightful power. Here is why this one book, is one that you must read and live by. Its primary goal is that drawing from ancient wisdom, existential philosophy, and a piercing critique of modern thought, which is never done by any other book. It dismantles the ultimate illusion that there exists a cosmic authority above us, whether called God, nature, law, or science, yet demands our obedience. If the real and noble creator truly exists or does not exist, it is beyond language, form, morality, and the commandments. It does not speak, it does not judge, it does not demand worship. And if that's true, then every prayer, every sin, every divine decree, every proclaimed truth, every lie, everything else was just, or is just, or will be just human projection or spiritual projection of entities longing and dressing up with divine law to rule, to govern, and to control you. For eons, humanity has turned to divine beings for answers, salvation, and identity. But what if the very concept of all that is sold through religion, whether polytheistic or monotheistic, and other cosmic doctrines or scientific or sophisticated designed mathematics or anything, are just tools used to disempower the human soul, which is you? Read this book carefully, because it is so powerful that without all your mental guards and the guides, you eventually, perhaps, likely, come out of this book overly optimistic or pessimistic, agnostic or atheistic. Yet, the same book teaches against these religions. When you go to chapter 18 of No More Masters, Awakened Uncreated Truth Destroys God-Lies, it deals with atheism and agnosticism, and shows the fallacies and the idiots of those belief systems or those doctrines. Because atheism says, I do not believe. Agnosticism says, we cannot know. Sometimes these two, they overlap. An agnostic atheist is someone who says, I don't believe, but I don't claim certainty. This, according to the book No More Masters, is a clean, neutral foundation for dismantling these beliefs. And using systematic deconstruction, leveraging cold logic and metaphysical rigor, the agnostic fallacy is known as paralysis of the eternal maybe. Agnosticism's claim of neutrality, that we cannot know if God exists or exists, is a veneer of humility masking profound intellectual laziness. Chapter 18 continues to show that the illusion of open-mindedness. Agnosticism pretends to transcend dogma, but commits itself to a deeper doctrine, the worship of uncertainty. By refusing to take a stance, it elevates not knowing to a virtue, mistaking paralysis of wisdom, and also falls into the logical contradiction of saying we cannot know, presupposing knowledge of the limits of knowledge, a self-refuting claim. As Wint Jensen says, the limits of my language mean the limits of my world. Agnosticism conflates epistemic humility with metaphysical nihilism. Atheism, disbelief, is arrogant. It's a certainty that is propagated by materialistic blind spots. Atheism claims authority through empiricism, but collapses under its own assumptions. Atheism reduces reality to empirical measurable systems, dismissing the ineffable as delusions, yet forgetting that there were once a situation when we didn't have microscopes, and someone who said there are microbes would be dismissed as a fool by atheists. So tooling is a factor. Both agnosticism and atheism are wrong, and they can never stand with the book No More Masters. They will be obliterated because they are delusions. Yet, when you look at quantum mechanics and Heisenberg's uncertainty principle and Gödel's incompleteness theorems, they prove that all systems have limits. To deny the uncreated because it eludes measurement is like denying oceans exist because you have only seen buckets of water. By revealing what has long been hidden behind sacred texts, cutting-edge quantum scientific discoveries, it invites you to see beyond the veil and reclaim something much more intrinsic and valuable than your spiritual birthright. It dismantles all the illusions, transcends even the gods, and awakens you to some form of freedom that you originally had. The world is changing very fast. Disinformation is spreading like wildfire, and those in power want to cling tighter to their narratives so that they can continue to control everybody. But right now, in this moment, you have the chance to arm yourself with the ultimate truth, which is No More Masters, this book. This is a philosophical detonation. Unless you are filled with fear, belief, or you are a closed-minded person, you must know that you may never ever read a book like this one. Why? Because of one principle that it elaborates on. You can get this book and own your copy from our website. You can also get it from Amazon. Get this book, and it will not just be a purchase. It will be your ticket to liberation, a form of liberation that is very rare, coming from the most dangerous book you will ever own. Now, this book does not deal with philosophical stuff or arguments or spirituality electrifying you or doing something to you. It identifies that there should never be a master above you, and that the entire architecture of divine authority is built on a huge lie. This book dares to ask the question no church, no mosque, no temple, no laboratory, no guru, no pastor, no preacher, no scientist wants to ask. Discover that question, and remember, there is tangible transformation that you will get from this book. It takes place once you apply this knowledge. Freedom, pure unadulterated freedom. Readers that have dived in this book and read this book so far have reported breakthroughs. No book dares to go where No More Masters goes. It's not another spiritual guide demanding faith or dry philosophy, drowning in jargon. It's a razor-sharp, soul-steering call to action that echoes the timeless truth uttered by our ancestors. Know thyself, and thou shalt find freedom. You need to have a mindset and a universal desire for comprehension, and to ditch your lords and your masters. Get this book today. Do not wait any longer. I am your manager Topi, Priest Jarabai LM Jakanja, saying, no more masters. Awakened uncreated truth destroys all lies. Amen.